Oh, okay, folks, here you go. I was gonna I think I done fell in love with bridges. I just want to talk about bridges, I guess. And this here is just a nice picture I found, and it's so pretty. So it made me think of a story back when I was about 14 or 15 years old. It was like January, February, on the farm, and it was that time of year. I was going to school, yeah. And so that was one evening before night, and I had old piece of junky car, but it would crank up, but it didn't have no battery in it. The battery in it wasn't no good, and I didn't have no money to buy no battery, but it would run if you push it off. If you had somebody to help you push it, get it moving a little bit, then you could let the clutch out and it would crank up. And so this was my situation that evening. I wanted to hear my little motor run and my little strip down, you know. I just want to hear that motor run. So I got my two sisters out there to help me push it so I could get it cranked up. Well, we started out pretty good. It started to moving, and then they got to giggling and they quit pushing. Giggling and laughing. And I said, quit it, come on, push. And they wouldn't do it. The more I said that, the more they laughed. And so I went back there and I kind of hit them a little bit. I didn't hurt them, but they hollered, and here come Daddy. And you know what he had on his mind? He was fixing to whoop me up pretty good. You just don't hit them gals like that, boy. So I said, oh man, I done messed up now. I better leave this here old car and everything else. Because Daddy fixing to whoop me good. I didn't really hurt him or nothing. But anyway, I decided I better leave for a little while. I ain't never done that before, you know, up to that point. But you know, you're 14, 15 years old, you begin to get a little big for your britches, you might say. So I took off and kind of got away from that spot where he was going to get me and whoop me. And I went on out across the cotton fields and stuff. And I said, it's just about night, and I ain't got no jacket or nothing. I said, I'll be getting cold in a little bit because the sun going down. I said, well, I ain't gonna worry about it. I'm gonna just run away. You know, you ever heard anybody say, I think I'm gonna just run away from it all? Well, that's what I said. I never done it before. So hey, I'll just run away. Can't get nobody to help me crank my little hot rod. So that's what I did. I just took off and I went back across that bridge going to Davisburg, Georgia, the Ogeechee River Bridge. I walked across that. It's done got dark now. When I went across that bridge, I could hear all kind of things out there in that, around that water and in that swamp. It was really scary. I said, I hope none of them things don't run out here and grab me. But the moon was shining that night. I could see pretty good. And I said, I'm going to just run on away. I don't care. So I went ahead, and as I walked more and more closely to from Davisburg, then, which I was like 7 miles from where I started, where we lived, to Davisburg. So I done already walked probably about 4 miles, probably like about 3 more miles before I got to Davisburg. And I got to thinking, I said, I'm cold. And I'm getting colder. It is about 9, 10 o'clock at night already. And I said to myself, what are you going to do when you get to Davisburg? You know, you don't know none of them people over there. You ain't got no place to go over there. So the road and the woods is going to be your place where you're going to be staying. And I said, well, that's all right. I just get out here and around them pine trees, and one place I seen along the road, I just pile me up a bunch of pine straw, and make me a bed. And I did that. I went over there, scraped me up a bunch of pine straw, and I kind of got up on it, wiggled up on it with a straw all over me. And I lay there and I look up at the moon and stuff, and I said, you know, that's nice, the moon is nice and all of that. All that is beautiful, but I'm cold. That straw didn't get me warm at all. And I said, man, I better get up from here. I said, if I walk or if I jog, then I can get warm. So I got out there and I kind of run up the road a little bit, you know, to kind of heat my body up. And I did that. I done pretty good, but you know, you get tired of running. I ain't got no matches or nothing. I ain't got nothing in my pocket to do nothing with. But I wouldn't want to build a fire no way. Scared I might get out and burn up all the woods. But anyway, that went on there. All the rest of the night, I got almost to Davisburg. And I kind of chickened out. I said, I don't want to go up in that town. What do I want to go back for? So I turned around. I said, the best thing for me to do is walk back and think about things and see how I can get out of this situation without getting a whooping. And so I headed back. And about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, I was coming back across that old Geechee River on that bridge and getting on over there close to where I lived. And I said, well, I'll just ease back on up there around the yard after daylight, kind of see what's going on. And Dad, he'd seen me. He said, come here, boy. He said, I ain't going to whoop you. Oh, when he said all of that, that's what I wanted to hear, you know. So anyway, he made a deal with me. He said, I ain't going to whoop you, but we're going to be cutting wood all day today, sawing down trees and cutting them up, splitting up the blocks and stuff for house wood and stove wood. And said, that's what I want you to do. You ain't going to school today. You're going to work with me and your brother. And so that's what we did. I was sleepy and tired, and I think they gave me some breakfast. I can't really remember when they worked all day, but I tell you what, I decided right then, from now on, before you run away, you sit down and figure out another way, my friend, another way. So that's the end of my story. Thank y'all for listening.